Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. This is going to be a very tricky day. I've got just a few points on my dashboard today to talk to you about, and we'll keep this short and sweet because at 8 o'clock I want to place some trades in the pre-market. My brokerage starts only at around 8 o'clock, so I have a disadvantage out there. If you look at the fear and greed index, for some reason it has improved. It's gone up from somewhere around 6 to 18. So the market participants are feeling a little better right now. Maybe they're getting used to the chaos that we have seen all around. I have got this arrow which says 1 and 2. So what has happened is this is a sequence of events. Trump exempts phones, computers, chips, and etc. from tariffs. This happened after the market close for the weekend. And then we had treasury yields falling as traders were assessing unexpected US tariff exemptions. If you recollect, the 10-year yields had kept on going up and we had the basis call issues. So one was hoping that the treasury yields would continue going up as money migrates to Europe and gold and other things. But this tariff exemption for phones, computer chips, etc. Has allowed the treasury yields to come down. And then we had, I think, Lutnick coming out and saying that we're still going to have tariffs on these parts, but it's going to be announced separately. And then Trump himself said that next week he's going to announce a tariff on computers, phones, etc., which will be under a separate bucket. And the next week that he mentioned was before this week started. So it's this week that they are going to announce. So as you can see, there's a whole lot of confusion out here, and the market seems to be weirdly super optimistic. As you see in the bottom, we have all the indices moving upwards. And on another news, I'm seeing China exports skyrocket over 12% in March as trade war drives businesses to front load shipments. Now, all of those things are going to come into the data. The economic data is going to be very crazy. At least as a retail investor, I don't think I'm going to have the capability to analyze this and see what's going to happen with the markets. So I'm going to just go with the flow or stay out altogether to prevent myself getting caught in the middle because it's crazy town out there. And Trump can do anything between right now and until end of the day and change the market the way it is today. Let's go on to have a look at the futures. So S&P 500 futures, I have got a line of resistance out here which seems to be holding well. This is at around 5,477.5, and it has held us all the way from, I think, 9th of April, 10 p.m. onwards, right up to now, which is 14th of April. So it's a pretty strong line. It has been tested twice, on 13th, and it has been tested twice today. So I'm thinking that the possibility of us breaking through this is pretty high, given that we are riding on the euphoria that Trump has exempted phones, computer chips, etc. from tariffs. But if Trump comes and says that it's going to be under a different bucket and it's going to start on the 15th or 16th or something like that, then we're going to give up those gains for sure. And the yields are also going to go up. So I don't know what's going to happen today. Are we going to break up above this? I don't know. But if we did break up above this, then our resistance is going to be 5,530 for today. And our support is going to be dynamic support at 5,399.25. So that's what I'm expecting for today. And if we manage to break down below that support, then 5,375.25. I think this is the maximum range in which S&P futures might trade. Nasdaq also has got a similar story. I have got a 2-hour candles out here because I want to show you something that happened yesterday. I mentioned it in my previous videos as well. There was a double bottom that we could not capitalize on, and the double bottom happened within a day. And we have this target here for the double bottom, which is at 5,813.25. So I'm expecting that the double bottom is going to attract us up here. And there was also a little bit of a gap out here, which can act as a magnet. So if you put all of those things together, the chances of it going up is pretty high, along with the expectation that Trump is going to exempt phones, computer chips, etc. from tariffs. So keep that in mind. And the same format is also applicable for NASDAQ. As you can see, exactly a double bottom is out here, and the target out here is going to be 20,459, and our resistance for today is 19,250, and another resistance is a band that starts on the bottom at 19,549, and at the top it ends at 19,762.25. If we break through both of these, then we can meet the target for this double bottom. Double bottom targets need not be met on the same day. They could be met in a couple of days. So that's also a possibility. So at this point of time, I'm thinking that the chances for an upside is pretty high. And at the same time, before the end of the day, we can also see a steep drop. So that's what I'm thinking might happen today. The volatility is high. And if you look at the dollar index, it's gone down to 99.375. We have not seen it so low for quite a while. And this is something phenomenal. And for today, I have put a support for dollar index at around 99.25. And if it falls below this, then I don't have any new supports out here. I'll try to work it out later on. But for today, I think we can assume 99.25 to be the support. Now, this brings a whole lot of risk, in my opinion. That is, foreigners who have invested in US treasuries as well as US stocks, they are going to look at the exchange rate, and if their exchange rate shows that they're going to get less local currency as compared to the dollar, they are likely to take out the money if the movement of the dollar is in that direction. So I would expect further strain on the treasuries as well as the stocks because of this aspect. We are not seeing it right now, but there's a distinct possibility this may happen. And also elsewhere, I have read that in case US dollar dominance goes down and the US exceptionalism goes down, then the replacements could be either the euro or Japanese yen or Chinese yuan. So renminbi, I don't know the difference between the two, but it's going to be in that direction. So you could also potentially have to keep track of the yen unwind trade happening. So these are all the things that I can think about. Out here, you can see that the MACD is improved for dollar index. So probably it will be able to survive and move up. But right now, we can see that it's in a bearish trajectory. These are all 2-hour candles. So in a 2-hour time frame, it's still looking bearish. And it's traveling downwards. We have to create higher highs and higher lows, and that has not yet happened. Now, having said that, let's look at the 10-year yield. There is a very good support for 10-year yields at 4.419, and then it could bounce. When the yields keep on going up, that means the market price of the bonds are going down. When the price goes down, it indicates that there is less demand for that product, and therefore you can always interpret this as flight away from the treasuries. Besant is talking about making the banks buy treasuries and hold it, but I don't think that's going to work because the bank stocks will then fall because it is going to weaken the balance sheets for the banks, because the treasury yield, the face value of the treasury will keep on going down. It's not like it's going to be staying static at some point when the banks buy. You remember what happened to the regional banks when the face value of the bonds started falling, their balance sheets got stressed and there was a sellout. SVB Bank had to forcibly sell all the bonds that they had at the current market price and incur losses, and therefore they had to wind down. So those kind of risks would come up. That's my feeling as a retail investor. I'd like you guys to also give me your thoughts in the chat section. Maybe I'm overanalyzing this, but that's where I would like to leave this. And let's look at USD and Japanese yen. You can see that the Japanese yen is getting stronger against the US dollar, and that's not something that we are looking forward to, because the yen unwind trade is, I think, sitting at 130.485, and we are at 143 right now. So with that said, let's go on and have a look at let's look at the S&P 500 where it ended. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to change this. I'm just going to recalibrate the chart so that you can see all the graphs out here, all the candles out here. Each of the candle is still 2-hour candle. I have this wedge out here, and you can see today, right now, the price action is out here. It's a very small doji candle which is being held down by 5,373.34. This is the horizontal line of resistance. If we break this, we have an immediate resistance on top at around 5,379.45. So it's a very strong resistance for the morning. So if we manage to break this, then our next resistance is going to be somewhere around 5,574. Our support right now is sitting at 5,285, and then we have another support somewhere around 5,033. So those are the two supports for S&P 500. MACD is looking very healthy. Momentum is also looking fantastic. So the chances for this breaking and going up is pretty high. But as you know, we are having a bearish pennant. Bearish pennants most of the time break down on the downside. So I'm really confused what's going to happen today, because I do not trust what is happening with the semiconductor tariffs. So big boys might be playing out here. So I'm going to try and be safe today. NASDAQ, again, has got a whole lot of lines of resistance out here. I'm just going to focus on what's happening out here. We can see higher highs and higher lows happening. So we are definitely trying to create some kind of a bullish channel, but we are still in a bearish perspective, because you can see that we are still on a downward slope. But if we manage to break out above, I'm just going to temporarily draw a line here, because there are too many lines and I don't want that to happen. So if I draw a temporary line out here, so I would say that if we were to break out above 19,237 today, then I would start believing that we are creating a bullish channel and we are moving upwards, and everything is nicely set up for that, because MACD is bullish. Momentum is also above average, but we have to see what happens with the tariffs for smartphones. I think that holds the key for today. And Trump can say anything, he can tweet anything, so we don't know. So just I would like to be careful. Even for genomics, that's the same thing I would say, because if the market goes up, most of the genomics have got a high delta with the market, so they will move up with the market. And when the market falls, they will also fall sharply. So be careful out there. Let's look at QQQ and see what's happening, because we can see the pre-market action out there. QQQ is up 1.36% in pre-market action, and out here we can see that our next resistance is going to be the minor line of resistance at 468.50. We are doing very well this morning so far, and our support is going to be 449.82, and if we break that support, our next support is going to be 434.92. So this is the range, I think, in which we are going to operate today. And our next support, if we were to break out above 468.28, is going to be 492.08. Our MACD is looking healthy, and our momentum is also above average. But again, remember the tariff issue. That's what is going to be the problem that we have to anticipate. Now we have a gap down out here on the VIX. We have suddenly come down, but as we approach market opening hours, we can see that the candle is becoming green, and it is going to face some resistance out here. This is the resistance. These are the two lines of resistance that it has to break. This gap down might attract it upwards. So we are looking at 33.73 as the first resistance, and the next resistance at 34.75. So those are the two resistances that I'm seeing for VIX. But VIX is likely to go up if there is any news that comes up on the tariff, and if it is not clear. So that's what I'm looking out there. PCC is quite bullish in my opinion. And if you look at gold, it has gone down to 0.42%. So it's a mix of indicators out there. I think I'll rather be careful. I'm going to get a little bit of FNGB to hedge my bets, which are predominantly on the downside in my speculative part of my portfolio. And I'm keeping all my long-term investments in the MAG5 intact. And if it falls further, I would like to buy and do a dollar cost averaging. So that's the way I'm looking at it. Let us look at XLP, where it ended. XLP is continuing to move upward, which is a good thing, because I bought XLP in anticipation of a recession. And I'm looking at XLP and thinking, okay, I'm recovering some of my losses because I bought it a bit too early. Let's go to AI. NVIDIA is looking great today. It's up around 3.03% in pre-market trades, and the stock chart is looking really good. And we have got tremendous support out here. I'm going to mark this green and fill it up with green. There's a whole lot of support, and NVIDIA is quite strong. If NVIDIA remains strong, it's going to help S&P 500 and the Mag 7s to a good extent. So to that extent, it's looking great. I have a price target here for NVIDIA, which is around 128.82. That's the price target I think it's going to aim for. And next, let us go on. That's basically based on a cup and handle pattern or on a reverse head and shoulder pattern, because you can see both of that out here. This could be a shoulder, this is the head, and this is another shoulder. So that's another way you can look at it, but it takes us out there to 128.47. So for today, our first resistance is going to be 124.82. If we cross that, then everything else is hunky-dory. Our support is going to start at 109.42, and it's going to end at 107.08, and the next support is at 105.74. And this diagonal line of resistance from the previous bear channel is going to be a support, and that's going to sit for, it's a dynamic support. I think it's going to sit for us today at somewhere around 108.05. So that's what I see in NVIDIA. All these candles are 2-hour candle. I'm doing a 2-hour analysis now, and if you look at Meta, you can see that Meta is up 1.24% in pre-market trades. It has been moving downwards in the pre-market time frame, even though it opened much higher when the pre-market started. We have a resistance at 549.77, and we have a support at 516.93 for Meta today. And our MACD is looking good, but it's moving towards the signal line, ready to cross over to the bearish side. All of these stocks are going to react to whatever happens from the White House regarding the tariffs on smartphones and semiconductors. Google is up 1.15% in pre-market trade, and I can also see that it's giving up a little bit of its gains in the pre-market action. And I think if you look at this diagonal line of resistance, that's what is going to give us a little bit of resistance this morning. We are improving quite well. 1.18% in pre-market trade is nothing to sniff about, and I think our resistance for today is going to be somewhere around 162.38, and I'm pretty sure that we're going to break that and go above. And then our next resistance is going to be 164.44. Our support is going to be at 154.99, and that's the range I think Google might work in. Amazon was up 1.04% in this pre-market trade so far. Our resistance, which was at 184.87, has now become a support based on the pre-market trades, and our resistance is going to be at 191.87. And if we break out above this resistance, our next resistance is going to be at 194.05. MACD is looking excellent. Momentum is also looking very good. So movement upward is a very good chance for Amazon. Apple is also looking fantastic. It's up 5.68%, and it has got a whole lot of supports. I'm just going to mark the old supports, doing a bit of housekeeping to just catch up with where Apple is today. Apple is now in pre-market action, cleared the resistance of 207.21 and converted that and made it into a support. And our resistance for today is going to be 218.25. And MACD is looking good. Momentum is also looking good. Microsoft is up 0.56% in pre-market trades. It is above a line of support, which happens to be at 386.90. This is the support out here. And its resistance today is going to be 399.71. MACD is also good, and momentum is also good. So hopefully we have things picking up for Microsoft. The one word of caution for Microsoft right now is that MACD is tending towards a signal line to cross over to the bearish side, and momentum, even though it's above average, is a bit flat right now. That has to improve for Microsoft to do better. Tesla is up 1.70% in pre-market trades. It's still managing to stay above 255.78, which is going to perform the role of support today. And the next support after that is going to be 250.32. Our resistance for today is 265.44 and then 268.09. These are the two resistances that Tesla might see. MACD is looking very healthy. Momentum is also looking pretty good for Tesla. Oracle is up 1.42% in pre-market trades. Our first resistance for today is going to be at 135.01, and our second resistance is going to be somewhere around 135.91. These are the two resistances that I can see for Oracle today, and the support is going to be somewhere around 127.96. AMD is going to be doing very well today. It's up 4.11%. It's got this diagonal line of resistance converted into a diagonal line of support, which is a very big deal. MACD is also bullish, and momentum is also above average, and we can see that our resistance at 95.94 has been converted into a support, and our resistance for today is going to be at around 100.23. However, the word of caution again, like Microsoft, is that MACD was tending towards the signal line to cross over to the bearish side, and also momentum is a bit flat even though it is above average. Those two things have to improve for AMD, and I think it will when the market opens, given the huge gain that it has had in pre-market action of around 4.24%. So it's all starting to look good for AMD, and SMCI is up 5.49%, and it's gone above this horizontal line of resistance from the previous trading session and converted that into a support. So we have a support today at 34.68, and then the next support is at 31.07. Our resistance is going to be today at 42.78 for SMCI. Broadcom is up 1.95% in pre-market action, and that takes it to above 178.75, which becomes a new support for us today. So for today, our support is going to be 178.93. We are right now at 185.48. So that takes us just below the resistance at 186.28, which is going to perform the role of the first resistance for today. The second resistance for today is going to be 198.51. MACD is looking good, and momentum is also looking pretty good for Broadcom. Palantir is up 5.57% in pre-market trades. It still has support at 83.71, and it has got a resistance which is going to be at around 101.43. It's working in that angle, trying to move upwards. MACD is looking good. Momentum is also looking good. I think 5.53% in the pre-market action more or less guarantees us that the MACD is going to look more bullish and the momentum is going to start picking up. Now let us look at semiconductor ETF, which is up 2.10% in pre-market action. It has got a whole lot of support at the bottom, and a new line of support which has emerged at 201.44 due to the pre-market action. The gap down has more or less been covered so far, and right now I'm thinking that our next resistance is going to be somewhere around, I think, 215.57. That's going to be our next resistance for today. Let us go and have a look at Tempus AI. It's up 2.83% in pre-market action, and it has got a support today at 43.06. I'm going to just mark that green because the pre-market action has taken it already above that. Our next support for Tempus is at 35.96, and our resistance is a dynamic resistance, and for today I would peg it at somewhere around 48.99 for Tempus. So that's what we have here, my friends, and I think I'll just have a quick look at Genomics for our Genomics guys. I think pre-market action for Editas is flat. For CRISPR Therapeutics, it is up 1.63%, and we have a target out here for CRISPR Therapeutics at 41.57. Maybe we'll meet that target today. And Prime is up 3.76% in pre-market trades. Ginkgo is 3.20% up, and Intelia is up 1.62%. ArcG is up 1.57% in pre-market trade. Verve is up to 26.38%. I just want to show you one thing in ArcG. As you can see, there's a double bottom out here, so ArcG might probably aim for much higher levels, and this line of resistance out here, minor line of resistance at 20.01, is our first line of resistance for today. I'll just quickly draw a target for you out here. I'm going to be a bit conservative. I'll take a target from here to the neckline, and then I'm just going to move this out from here and put it on top of the neckline. So we are looking at a target of around 22.79 for ArcG. So this is what I would like to throw out there. Again, this is not financial advice, just my amateur technical analysis, and that's the target that you have out there, my friends. Verve is up 26.38%, a very big jump. There should be some news for Verve. Verve Therapeutics surges pre-market on Verve 102 study data. I'll make a separate video on Verve for you guys, but this is a big catalyst if it's positive, and we have support for Verve which is going to be at 3.54, and we have resistance for Verve at 4.40. I have to read up the catalyst, and I'll come out with a video for you today giving my opinion on that. That's good news for you guys. And Altimmune is up 3.63%. This is good news for me. My resistance for today is going to be 5.07 for Altimmune. immune. And then we have Allogene, which is flat in pre-market trades. Beam is up for 0.45% in pre-market trades. It has support at 15.07. It has got resistance at 17.51. Again, I can see a double bottom out here, so I'll just put this out here for you guys. This double bottom has not been triggered, and if it gets triggered, I think it will take you all the way to this resistance at 19.06. Remember, it has not been triggered. It has to go above this neckline. It has not yet done that, so it's a bit premature. I'm putting it out there just in case someone is interested. Illumina is up 1.10%. All of these stocks are showing me double bottom, so there could be a big spike for Genomics, but again, it will be taken away if that electronics exemption goes away. So just watch out for that in the news. IMTX has got no trades in pre-market action. Unicure is down 2.46% in pre-market action. Grail is up 3.10% in pre-market action. Caribou is up 1.72% in pre-market action, and you can see the beginning of a reverse head and shoulder out here, but it has not breached the neckline, so I can't say anything about it. Vertex is down 0.34% in pre-market trades. And yeah, that's about it. I don't want to go beyond that for today. I'm going to have a quick look at the futures, where the futures are, where they have moved so far. So it is still in the same area that we saw it before. I'm going to go and have a look at our chat section I'm going to get in the chat section. Guys, are you able to hear me? Hot Dog says, I think it's Bitcoin's moment to shine or disappoint. It's certainly decoupling and supply is getting shorter. I'm tending to agree with you, Hot Dog, out there. It seems to be decoupling. I think it could also be the fact that yields are going up on the bonds and people are moving away from the US dollar. And Hot Dog is saying Verve H2 trials looked promising. Yes, I can see that in the pricing. Thanks for the heads up. I'm going to do a video on Verve later today and put it up there for all our genomics viewers. It's indeed promising. So that's all I got, my friends, and I'm going to go and try to place a trade and hedge a little bit against my shorts on FNGD by buying some FNGB. I'll catch up again with you later on, my friends. Thanks for tuning in. It's been really good to have you on. Bye for now.